To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our finals. Will be closing soon. Please board quickly and safely. Our monorail will be departing momentarily. Thank you. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Adventure, fun, music, cartoons, news. Everybody ready?
Ready!
Then on with the show.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wednesday night. It's my turn to get you through the week to the weekend. Welcome into the studio of the show. It's our Wednesday night interview segment. Tonight's guest, Gene FitzMagic from the FPE Network, and I'm excited to sit down and talk with him. We're celebrating 10,000 subscribers and 2 million channel views on the channel this week, and I'm glad you're here to celebrate with our partner channel and get to know him a little bit better. Let's get rolling and get it knocked out first. Let's start by talking about our partner channels. We've got some great ones here on the channel. There, right there, Myers and the Mouse go live from the parks along with Diz Our Dream and Florida Park Explorers. Dad Builds Tia Marie, Disney World Freak, and Dole with Dad all go live from home. They do a great job. We appreciate them so much. We're fortunate to look out for the Dean and the Live Place. Over 150 family-friendly channels supported over there. Check out Dean and the Live Place. We got Chaotic Crusaders on this channel. You hear about them throughout the show. First, we start out by talking to Dan from Disney World. There's 21,000 strong on his Facebook group. Really proud to know Dan and be helping out with him, and he helping out with us. We've got our own little clubhouse. It's a Facebook group over there called the Disney Cat Clubhouse. You can come over and check it out. Post your content over there. We would love for any creator to do that over there. We have membership available on the channel, 4 different tiers of membership. You do one of the higher tiers, you'll get one of those Disney minted coins mailed to your house. We'd like to send that out. Join membership on the channel today. Completely optional. Membership is brought to you every week by Zoelle's World and Bina Janaclaire. One incredible lady, 2 amazing channels. Moderators, please drop her links into the chat if you wouldn't mind. I would really appreciate that.
The official Disney-related news service and partner of the Pete McDevitt Show is Chip & Company. You can find this trusted source at chipandco.com or on many social media outlets including YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Just a little bit of pixie dust.
Just a little bit of pixie dust is all you need when working with Cristina Wittmann Realtor of choice for the Disney Chaotic Clubhouse. From making magic as a cast member to spreading magic as a top realtor for Century 21, she'll help you put that gold Century 21 sold sign on your property for sure. Central Florida's finest, Cristina Wittmann, 407-789-5334. Tell her that Pete McDevitt sent ya.
Hello, this is Josh.
And I am Amy, and we are from Central Florida Novelty and Gifts. We are a family-owned small shop. We are an authorized Loungefly retailer.
Please check out our website as we carry Loungefly, Funko Pops, Tervis, Danielle Nicole, and Fig Pins. We take pride in providing great customer service as our customers are our #1 priority. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook for up-to-date product information and new releases.
Hi gang, it's me Tinkerbell, and I'm back from Neverland. Just in time to listen to my favorite Disney music radio station. So grab your mouse ears and join me and all of my Disney pals down at the end of Main Street, right in Mickey's backyard, for the magic of the Mouse Radio. See you there!
If it's time to put your logo up in lights, well, there's only one place to go. It's Precise Signs, found here on YouTube. You can see them on this video, creating the Viapre Project logo up in lights. It's time to put your logo up in lights behind you on the wall. Found on Instagram at Precise Signs for you. There's nobody better than Marlon to put your name up in lights. You want to see it on the marquee? It's time to be precise with Precise Signs. All right, we're really excited. We've got a new segment of the channel. It's called Celebrate the Arts, One Night Only. Last week, we featured the incredible Piano Rob. It started out with Yeehaw Bob, and it only gets more enticing. We've got coming to the channel, everybody, the incredible author, Kimberly Brouchard. Gonna be incredible with Aaron H. Goldberg, Disney respected author, top of the line Disney artist, contemporary surrealist. That would be our good friend coming in. One night only, Michael Provenza. Following up, Christopher E. Smith, Disney respected author and knowledgeable creator out there. David Perillo's coming. He's been featured at the Festival of the Arts. He is a Disney top artist. He is on the Disney Fine Arts Collection. Jim Fanning is coming. He's one of the most respected Disney historians there is. He's coming for one night only, and just booked last night. Internationally known. RC, featured at the Festival of the Arts. RC has committed to the channel. We got a lot coming up on Tuesday nights, one night only. You're not going to want to miss those channels. Want to remind you real quick to check out the ladies of our community. These are some of the channels I highlight. These are the days they go. You see by the logo. Check out their channels. They're absolutely, absolutely amazing. All right, let's bring it back up to the top. I'm excited to talk to our guest tonight. This is our Wednesday night focus. We're always bringing new people into your world. My guest tonight is the face of the network right now over there. He hosts more shows than Johnny Carson ever did in his lifetime. He brings a lot of magic to the network, partnering up with Florida Park Explorers. They bring you together, the FPE Network. Tonight, we're going to talk about that and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to my chat the man who's got almost 50,000 people following him on Instagram. You could fill a stadium with that. It's Gene FitzMagic, everybody. Welcome in, buddy. Good.
Thank you so much, Pete. Thank you so much, and hello, everybody.
I appreciate you coming in. Thank you. I was noticing backstage as we were warming up, you were grooming the beard. I appreciate that.
I keep the comb at all times. Sometimes a fork if the comb isn't available, but I usually use the comb.
And TMI as we go through. Welcome in, buddy. I'm excited that you're here tonight. Want to welcome in the chat real quick, if you don't mind. Just say hello.
Let's do it.
Mark Explorer, Sarah J, Tim Ruppel, Jill Watchbrick. Welcome in, Jill. Mike Beckman, Surf Bum John, Sarah, Stevie Lee, Monorails Forever Steve. Piano Rob is in the house. That's not an announcement. That is a warning. Cricket 5, Ryan K, Lisa Zepiak, Surf Bum John, Samuel B, Disney Worlders is in the house. AAU Triton, what's up? Jonathan Chong. If I missed anybody, I'm sure I will get you as you continue to comment. We will try to highlight you and welcome you in. Dingleberry Farm, welcome in. Happily Ever Yachty, the beautiful Yachty is here with us. We got a lot of friends coming in, Gene, to see you tonight, to learn a little bit more about you. Jesse in the house, welcome in, buddy. Appreciate everybody being here. I'm going to do one thing, 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for coming in tonight. I'm excited to sit down and talk with you guys. Tropical Nerds is in house with us tonight here and doing his thing. Let's first start out by talking about a little bit about you. For people that might not know you, that are finding you for the first time, welcome. Sarah J is here. Sebastian the Crab, Big Matt, JC Skipper Brian. They just keep coming, Gino. Tell everybody a little bit about you in general that you want to share. Then we'll kind of dig into your social aspect. We'll dig into the network. We got a lot of things to talk about tonight.
Yeah, this is something that 3 years ago, if you would have asked me if I would be on YouTube talking about Disney, I'd say you're crazy. Very big introvert. So the fact that I'm even on YouTube to me is astonishing to me. But I've always been a Disney fan since a kid, but it really reached like almost a sickness once I became about 20 or so. Okay. Where I started going to the parks as an adult when I could spend my own money on the parks and go as often as I wanted. That's where it became like my problem. But there's better problems worse problems to have, I guess. But yeah. So it started there, and for years we just were a Disney family that went, once or twice a year. And me and my wife were actually married in 2013. We've been together since '98, but we finally tied the knot in 2013. She finally locked me down in 2013. And we got married in Disney. My son and our daughter was, my son was my best man. My daughter was my wife's maid of honor. So it was a small little family ceremony over at the boardwalk. And this was just, we always had Disney where that's every vacation. We didn't really think of going anywhere else. It was always just Disney World. Nice. And I'd say it was in 2019, we went on a trip, and after watching all these other shows like the Diz and all the ones that you find all over the place, me and my daughter had thought, hey, why don't we do like a little Instagram where we can kind of put some of our trips, some cool Disney memes and stuff. And he said, "That's true. I did. It was everything was very like down to the minute." But yeah, so we started capturing some of our trips, and we started putting up memes, and it just kind of, I guess it caught the right person, and enough people started following us to the point where people started, photographers, like really talented photographers, started they kept tagging us in their photos. And so finally we said, hey, you know what? I'm not nearly as good of a photographer as you see these other ones that we're getting. So I had asked a bunch of people that were tagging me. I said, hey, can I repost this? And obviously I'll give you complete credit for it. And so it became almost a place where we started working with the community even back then without even realizing it. We just thought they were cool pictures to kind of repost and maybe bring other followers on Instagram to them. And it was like the beginning of really being more like involved in the community. At that point, it was more the photography community because photographers just kept sending us their stuff, and we kept reposting it, and it just kind of blew up from there. And then in about August of 2020, I guess COVID created a lot of podcasts and a lot of YouTube pages. It really did, and we were one of them. And so we had our podcast that went on, and about mid 2021. We realized, all right, we need to. Vince McMahon putting stuff together. Very good, Rob. I realized, okay, the next plateau we need to get to, the next step we need to get to is YouTube, because that's where I feel like that is like that next venture.
Let's hold off on the YouTube. Let's take a step back.
Yeah.
Let's take a step back and say, let's talk about first, if we could. And first, I should remind everybody a couple things. One, if you want to ask a question of my guest tonight, highlight at Pete McDevitt Show in the chat. I will try to get to as many as I can. If you have the number for the studio tonight, you want to call in, more than welcome to call in and ask a question of our guests. If you are brand new to Gene tonight and you're liking what you're seeing, we're going to ask you to check out two things. Check out and follow maybe over on his Instagram. We'll be posting that in the chat throughout the night. And check out over at the FPE Network. We're going to talk more about the network here on YouTube as we get through this interview. Follow Gene and the team over there as well. And of course, if you're brand new to me tonight, find it for the first time, I do Disney interviews 3 days a week and the Disney Hangout on Friday. Hit that subscribe today and join me. Let's talk about where your love of Disney came from. Before you get into podcasts, I want to talk about the podcast too.
Yeah.
That's with that. Let's first talk about your love of Disney. Where did that originate? How long has that been? Tell me about that.
I love Disney like any kid loves Disney when they're younger, right? You know, you love all the movies. You love going to the parks when you get a chance to. It wasn't until I was like 19, 20, where me and my wife, actually it was 20, me and my wife went to Disney I had a business trip. I used to work for a Teamster union back then, and there was a conference they were holding in the Contemporary. So we got like a free trip to go to this conference at the Contemporary. And basically it was that trip where I went there, and it's like everything. I realized when you're an adult and you go to Disney, it's different than when you go as a kid. When you're a kid, everything's magical, and it's still magical as an adult, but it's a different kind of thing, because now as an adult you have like real life stresses that it melts away and goes away once you walk through the gates of Disney. So not only is it just a happy place as a kid, but when you're an adult and you go, as long as you still feel the magic, it's almost like an escape from reality, an escape from real life. And since then, I wanted it to be my everyday real life and my everyday escape. And my goal since 20 was to really, at that point, move to Disney. But that's really what it was. Like when I was a kid, it was the films. And then when I became an adult, it was not so much even the parks, just Disney World as a whole. So not even specific. Just once you go through those gates and you're on Disney property, it's almost like this whole thing just washes over me. And I feel like I'm in a safe, happy place. I'm in that cocoon, you know? So that's really where it started.
I love it. Greg is hoping you'll dye your beard blue, if he would like you to do that.
We'll see.
I've got Stevie Lee asking a question about a new kissy face name. I'm not sure what that is, but I'll let that be, and we'll talk more about the fact of your podcast. So this love and passion for Disney evolved into the podcast that you did. Tell everybody a little bit about the name of the podcast, how it started, where it evolved to. Susan Silva, welcome in, and thank you for joining tonight.
It started out, it was the Disney Underground, which is now named one of our shows on the FPE Network. Mm-hmm. But at the time it was news. It was having a guest featured on every episode. Sometimes we'd have like a little game show. It was me, Dan and Stephanie from Rock and Roll DW. Okay. And then Joey D and Sammy D from JSA Creations. And it was the five of us. Okay. And we all met on Instagram. We just became friends. In fact, to this day, 3 years in, I still have never really met Dan and Stephanie in person. Joey and Sammy, I have a bunch because I'm half living in Florida and half New York, so I see them often enough. But we just became friends and family just through Instagram and through our podcast. And we met every Thursday. We recorded on Thursday. And we get uploaded the following Monday. And it's really what kind of, even that was tough. Like even doing a pre-recorded podcast, my shyness, I used to get such like butterflies in my stomach just recording that show.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I just, like I said, even like 3 years ago, I would have said you're nuts if someone would have told me I'm doing what I'm doing today. And because I still get it, even with this, I still have some butterflies. You know, I still get it, not to the same degree, but but yeah. So it was. We did that we started that in August of 2020,
Mm-hmm.
and we did it every week. We got to meet some really cool guests that had even said, "Hey, you gotta try doing this on YouTube. You gotta, And I want to credit actually John Sakari, Big Fat Panda, who was one of the first people to really like encourage me to move down to Florida to pursue this like full time.
Okay.
He grew up I'd say about 20 minutes from where I'm from on Long Island. So
Okay.
we were from the same area. We had a lot in common. He must have spent a good hour after our interview talking to me off the air just about what it's like to finally just move down there and make that change and embracing just the Disney life in Orlando. And so he was one of the first people that really kind of set it in my head to maybe this is where I need to go, not
Right.
just YouTube, but also make the move to Florida.
I love it.
And so I really credit him a lot. Love that guy. And he's one of the people that I met on the podcast when I was doing the podcast that
You're doing it.
was super influential to me.
Nice. I love that. Welcome in, Shara. Thank you for coming in. Gateway to the Magic, Matt. Thank you for following Gene on IG and over there at the network. I appreciate you doing that. Big Matt says, I love the FPE Network. Thank you, Big Matt, for that vote of confidence over there. Appreciate you coming in as well. Frank F., welcome in. Good to see you as well. So let's take a step. So, you got this love of Disney. You got this podcast. You brought the relationships there. I think you've done a great job. You've really cultivated through that initial podcast. Is kind of where a lot of this has started and evolved and built up to this 50,000 almost over on Instagram and the following that you've taken over to the YouTube, which we'll talk in a little bit. But talk about some of those relationships and how kind of that has been an important factor. I know that's very valued to you with what came out of the initial podcast time.
Yeah, I mean those guys are family. As you see, and I'm sorry if I'm glitchy because I don't know if it's my internet where I'm at, but I notice I keep freezing.
I think it is your internet, but we'll work with it.
But yeah, but those guys are family. Like they're still on the shows today. Sammy D and Joey D are part of Clash of the Magic. Rock and Roll DW, Dan and Stephanie will be part of the network very soon. They're working on something specific.
Nice.
So they're part of my everyday lives, and the people that I've met since becoming to YouTube have been just very supportive, very very opening. I felt like an outsider coming in, but that lasted for like a minute. And again, the same way I credit Panda, I also credit you, Pete, because before I was even on YouTube, you actually had me on and welcomed me to the community before I even was in the community, and encouraged me to start working on YouTube. And that I think helped a lot of people get to know me a little bit. So I think that helped a lot. Well, I know that helped a lot. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, those are the people that are with me still. And the community aspect is huge to me. Like I've always said, even when we're on the podcast, even when now on YouTube, if you have 5 followers or 5 subscribers, or you have 5 million followers or subscribers, you're welcome on our show. Hit me up and we'll have you on. So that's being someone that's new in the community. That's all I can do at that point is reach back and bring other people with me, or give you at least the other people a chance to come and be able to showcase themselves the same way you've done for me, and a lot of the other people have done for me, and just giving me the chance to just take a look at what we're doing. I try to do the same thing, and a lot of those ideals came from a lot of what you preach, and me and Dave, we try to practice them as much as we can every single day. And again, Dave, that's another credit to you. I wouldn't even be partnered with Dave right now if it wasn't for you knowing us both and kind of in a way putting us together. So I commend you for that very much.
Oh, good. Not a problem. Welcome in also to Stacy from Live in the Magic. I always want to call it Live in the Magic. Live in the Magic. I want to say it's Living with the Magic over there, because there is a ton on that channel. Stacy from Live in the Magic is here. And also Casey's Corner of the World, our executive producer, is in-house. He's checking up to make sure I'm doing a good job. I don't want to get fined. I got to do a good interview here as we go through. So let's take a step out. We always try to step in, step out of what we're doing. So let's take a step out and get to know Gene for a second here. And let's talk about Gene as we go through. Tell us about collectibles for you. Everybody's got the Disney passions of things they collect. What are the collectibles for the FitzMagic house that are things that when you go to Disney, you're thinking about, hey, I'd love to get my hands on some more of these and build up what we have?
I know it's going to sound corny and cliched, but I think more than anything, it's memories. That's really. I'm not a big merch guy in the sense that I have to. I apparently because I don't really have room to store anything anywhere. I'm just kind of getting into Funkos now, so I have a few Funkos. I'll tell you one thing I always have to do is mugs. I have a million mugs and tumblers. So I don't collect them in the sense to display them. I always felt like I could get a T-shirt, but in 2 years that T-shirt's going to be faded or ripped, or I'll misplace it and I'll never have it again. But mugs, ceramic, they last forever. So mugs are always my merch of choice whenever I go to the parks, just because I'll use them forever. So like we don't have like a matching set of mugs like a lot of people do. We just have a ton of Disney mugs, and that's really what we have in our cupboard.
So there you go. If you're listening to the show and you're a fan of Gene and you get up around his birthday or holiday time and you want to send something in for the show, a mug would be a great choice. That would be great. I never have anybody send me mugs. That's not a bad one. That's a good one.
Joey and Sammy D from JSA Creations, actually this past birthday, sent me a cool Jets tumbler with my name on it. And everyone usually when I'm where I'm at in Florida, people can see it in the background. It's a roll of toilet paper with the Jets logo on it. So
there you go.
There you go.
We'll talk sports a little bit later in this as well. Let's talk about for a second there your bucket list of parks. What parks have you been to so far in your life? What parks are on your must do, and what parks are on your kind of I'd like to hope to do if I got the opportunity? And welcome into Annie Coog is here as well, and Brian Kay. Got a lot of friends coming in tonight. Thank you guys for joining us. What's on your bucket list?
Asia and Paris for sure. I've been to California, but when I was a kid, so I don't really remember it as much because I was a teenager. So I have been there. Still a bucket list to get back. I was hoping to go back this past winter, and just with so much with moving and everything else, I haven't had a chance to really be able to put a trip together. But
Gene, hold on 1 second. YouTube is glitching again, just so everybody knows. Just refresh. If the moderators could tell everybody, there we go. It's back in. YouTube is goofy right now.
Yeah, it's been like that for the last couple of days. I noticed too.
Yeah, they're changing the algorithm. That's what it is. So it's frustrating.
But yeah, definitely Asia, Hong Kong, Tokyo Sea, Disneyland Paris. My daughter and my wife have actually been to. They went a few years ago, but I have yet to attend. But those would I would say is my
what drives
my bucket list.
To go to Tokyo and Paris? What is driving you for that? What is your passion behind those?
The different experience. Paris, just because my wife and my daughter raved about it, they loved it so much. I think it's also their plan to try to get me to go to visit France, is like to take me there too. So they've been talking it up since they've been there. Tokyo Sea, I just hear such amazing. Everyone that I know that's been there says that's their favorite park in the world. So it must be spectacular. I don't know anyone that's been there that hasn't been like, it's okay. Everyone that I know that's been there has told me that it's the best Disney park out of them all. So it's I got to check it out.
Nice. I love that fact. All right, let's jump back in here and talk about this new venture you got. You came over from podcasting. You hooked up with Dave from Florida Park Explorers. First, let's talk about there wasn't any magic in your name. That kind of came with your partnership and what you were doing with this new venture. So let's talk about that for a second. The nickname, how it came about, and your interpretation of what it brings to your personality. I'd love to hear about that. Welcome in Dre Houston, and welcome in David T as well. Share with us a little bit about the magic nomenclature there.
It was my name is Eugene, and as everybody knows, there's a famous Eugene in Disney, Flynn Rider. His name is Eugene FitzHerbert. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the genesis of it. That's kind of where it came from. It was Gene, and then they, Fitz, and then the magic part. It kind of came up, and it was just catchy, and it kind of just stuck. And next thing I know, Dave's calling me Gene FitzMagic whenever I popped into the stream. I was FitzMagic, regardless of everything else. So it kind of just stuck, and I joke with my wife to this day. I call her Mrs. FitzMagic, and she can't stand it. So I'll tease her all the time, like, "Hey, I'm thinking about changing my name, like Chad Johnson to Chad Ochocinco, and maybe going just FitzMagic. What would you say?" She goes, "Yeah, your next wife might really like that, but the current one doesn't."
Yeah,
so she's not going to allow it to ever become official, which I just more tease her than anything else. But yeah, it stuck, and it was it's a fun little nickname. I like it. I mean, I feel like it does embody a lot of what we do, me and Dave. So when he came up with it, and again, he just kind of came up. He just called it me one time, and it kind of just stuck. And it was like, yeah, you know what, that might work. Let's go with that. So yeah, that's what it was. And then the logo with the Iron Man thing came from, we were thinking about doing a Marvel show, and we mentioned it to an artist, and he sent that to us. And we got one with Joey D as the Hulk with his big arms. We have one with him in green as the Hulk. So we have a couple of our cast that actually have it, their Marvel character version
Marvelized logo. I love it.
Yeah.
Welcome in, VP. Thanks for joining tonight as well. Gateway to the Magic throws out the question: what aspect of Disney YouTubing do you find the most challenging, and how do you deal with it? It's a good question.
When I'm going the internet stuff, because there's something that you just can't control, either your internet. Like today, I feel like my internet's a little bit off, so either it's wonky or it's not, and there's nothing you can do about it, and that's frustrating. And then the other part that I find very challenging, and the way I deal with it is I don't do it. I leave it to Dave. Is streaming, which, talking about me being an introvert, I'm fine when I'm in my own little cocoon, and I can just feel like I make it in my head. I just feel like I'm just talking to whoever's on camera with me. Right. But to do it in the parks like that, I give all the streamers such credit, because it's hard to do. You got to really be aware of your surroundings, be aware of what's going in your chat, be aware of what you're copying, or recording, and there's so much to do, and still be in the moment. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd have a panic attack. So I don't even. So the way I deal with that is I don't do it. I let Dave and Jen handle it. Yeah.
Monorails Forever Steve, welcome in. Chris Dye, Mr. Fulton is here as well. Tina Marie, my lead moderator, is here as well. Appreciate her being in. So let's talk about the channel and what we're doing with it over there. And again, we apologize to you tonight if you're coming in. It's YouTube acting a little wonky. I've got 5 bars here, and I'm fully dialed in, bolted to the electric system here on the internet. So I know we're good, and I know Gene's is solid. I think it's just YouTube playing its games. But we apologize for that. Good thing is, if you're watching on the replay, you're not seeing any of it, because it'll work perfectly. So appreciate that. So let's talk here just about the channel itself and the FPE network. I'm trying to catch up to VP's question here that he wants to ask too as well. Before we go to the network, let's answer VP's thing. Question for Gene: why does Gene insist on competing with me when it comes to beard? If Gene wasn't doing YouTube, what would he? If Gene wasn't, if you weren't doing YouTube, what would you be doing? Would you still be doing the podcasting?
Definitely be doing the podcasting. And as far as the beard, I'll tell you, I always feel like I love my beard, and then I get on the same show as VP at times, and I feel like it's like stubble. It's like this is nothing, man. Like I need to get my beard game working.
There you go.
But yeah, I would still be doing the podcast. I would be freezing. Well, I'm freezing in New York right now because I'm up here for a couple of weeks. But my everyday life would probably still be New York, freezing like crazy. And I wouldn't have made a lot of good friends that I've made with YouTube. So if anything, I feel like that's where I'm most blessed, is not just finding something that I'm passionate about doing, is meeting the people like yourself, VP being one of them, really just fun, cool people that I can call friends, and I love it too. I mean, it's honestly, I know it sounds corny and cliched, but like it really is the people that make it all worth it.
Absolutely.
So.
Cricket's dropping the link for Gene's Instagram in there. If you're not following him already, click over there, give him a follow, keep up with everything he's got going on. He is the host of the FPE Network as far as the most shows on the network. We have multiple channels over there. Gene is the lead host and liaison for it, partners with Florida Park Explorers to create the FPE Network. And we're going to dig into that here a little bit as well. Let's talk about the network itself. It came to fruition. You and Dave got together and kind of came up with a concept of, hey, we want to do something a little bit differently. Talk a little bit first about how the network came together.
I actually had Dave on as a guest on my podcast, And off the air, we were just talking. I had just moved to Florida, and we were talking about what it is I was looking to do. And I was actually at the time looking to do a network as well, but an audio podcast network. I wasn't even thinking YouTube really at that point. I was thinking maybe I'll do some stuff on YouTube, but like network wise, like real, like the meat of my stuff is going to be audio because that's all I knew. And he goes, it's funny you say that because I'm actually thinking about doing something like that similar with YouTube. Maybe we should talk. Maybe there's a way we can kind of work together. And so then there was the thought of, okay, are we going to be maybe we'll do something together where it'll be like TV and radio. And then it just went to, well, why don't we just bring everything that we would have did on radio to YouTube, and we'll kind of go from there. And that was really where it all kind of started, was with Dave saying, hey, I got this idea of really doing some stuff with the community. It was a lot based on what you preached, like I said earlier, and really kind of helping build up the rest of the community. It was going to be a lot of streamers we were going to do work with, other podcasts and stuff like that. And as it just grew, it just grew into what it is now, where we're trying to get stuff on like every night of the week. We're trying to get stuff on multiple times on days of the week. And then we also were putting together other networks now too. So that will carry other forms of entertainment, like sports, and maybe not so much Disney stuff. And
back before we get to there.
For
real quick, favorite attraction at WW? Throw it out there real quick.
Oh. Probably Pirates or Haunted Mansion.
Okay, Pirates or Haunted Mansion. The network first. Let's talk about the core channel, which is FPE Network. You've got multiple shows over on the network. If you could take a second here and kind of elaborate for me, just share a little bit on what you're going to find. Here's the lineup as of today. I'm sure it's going to grow, but let's talk about this and what you got going, if you wouldn't mind. Just a quick overview.
So Monday, an evening with the magical lifestyle. That's me and Piano Rob. It's very like Letterman, Paul Schaefer-esque kind of thing, where he's the musician. I'm the host. Well, I guess we're kind of both hosts because we both interview just evenly. But that's the idea of that was we wanted to come up with something that might be like a cool late night kind of vibe, but still be on prime time for everybody to be able to see it live.
Okay.
And so me and Piano Rob, when I first got down to Florida, we actually had lunch at CityWorks and to talk about possibly doing something on YouTube. We weren't sure what we wanted to do yet, but we wanted to work together on a few projects. And there's other things that we still want to do, but the first one we came up with was this concept. So I pitched it to Dave, and Dave loved it and said, let's work on it. And since then we've had a lot of really, really cool guests. We've had just last Monday, we had Brian Volk-Weiss, who is the producer and director of Behind the Attractions on Disney Plus. We've had a Jared Mariyama, who's a phenomenal artist that's been in fact, I think he was there up until like 2 days ago, the Festival of the Arts.
Okay.
Monty Moore, also a member of the part of the Festival of the Arts, was on the show.
That's a
Damien,
solid lineup, great show, interactive music over there by Piano Rob. I think you guys do a great job. So Tuesdays, you got We Like Theme Parks. Share a little bit about that if you wouldn't mind.
We Like Theme Parks. Lead host Bondo is someone I met when I was doing podcasting, because they were doing podcasting as well. And we just hit it off. We've become really, really, really great friends in the time that we've known each other on in the podcast world. And we always had this thing, podcasting is a lot harder than YouTube in the sense of there's a lot of editing that goes on. There's a lot of stuff that's a lot more that goes into the show after you record it, because the editing would take almost a whole day in itself. And with live YouTube, the show is the show. So there's not that much other work. So we had always talked about doing some work together, but when it's in the podcast world, each show that you already do takes up so much time that we never really were able to. So when we talked about doing something at YouTube, I thought it was the perfect venue for us to do something together. And so he joined Around the Magic at one point for a while. He's still there. And we had talked about bringing We Like Theme Parks to the network too. It was one of my favorite podcasts in the business. It really was. I loved it. They're super funny. A lot of their cast is part of Second City, which is like legendary. And Bondo and me
if you're not familiar with Second City is also where comedic talents like John Candy, Martin Short have come from, Ivan Reitman, people like that. People through the time. So that's We Like Theme Parks Tuesday. A lot of comedy over there, a lot of fun. And let's talk about Wednesdays. You got Around the Magic. You referenced that. with Bondo being over there with you a little bit. Talk about Around the Magic, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, Around the Magic. That is our Disney debate show. We play. I'm the judge. I get to award points or take away points. Our contestants are. It's always Bondo. Victoria's there. Miriam also from like theme parks is there. Ali K. Such a super funny Ali K. If anybody please go check her out because she is hysterical. She's got a stand-up comedic background as well, so she's on that show as well. And we usually always have a guest. In fact, tonight we'll be on at 9, and Greg from Disney Fanatics will be our guest on that show tonight. So
that follows tonight's show after we're done here, 9:00 over on the network. You can see Greg from Disney Fanatics, who's a great guy, great personality,
awesome dude,
and you'll be able to sit down and you can get a glimpse of that show tonight. Get a little bit more of Gene and the network, and we'll talk more about that as we go through. Let's talk about. Are you a cruise person? Are you into cruises, Gene?
No, not because any other reason other than whenever I had time to go away, I just wanted to go to Disney.
Okay.
And I know everyone's like, well, Disney cruise, and I always felt like the Disney cruises would be. It wouldn't be enough Disney, but too much Disney that it would make me miss the parks. Like
gotcha.
I figured I'd get there and it would be almost like a tease, and I wish I was in the park the whole time.
I wish you were in the park.
So yeah, so I never bothered doing it yet. Now that I'm local, I can see myself doing them.
Okay,
so.
I love it. Welcome in from PR to Disney, Nyasha Soto. Welcome in Mouse Ears and Magic as well. Thank you for joining tonight. If you are brand new to us, this is Gene. He is the face of the FPE Network. He is their lead creator on the screen. Of course, he partners with Dave of Florida Park Explorers to bring you the network. Please consider giving him a follow over there. If you're brand new to me, I do Disney interviews 3 days a week and also a hangout on Friday. Hit that subscribe for me tonight. I'd love for you to come back. Tina says, one of these days, I want to see a guest host and see Gene play one of these games over there. Tina would be a guest host. I think she'd be a good one.
She'd be a good guest host. She's actually been on one of our shows before. She was I forget if it was Clash of the Magic or Around the Magic. She was on one of them not that long ago. She's been on, and she is a phenomenal guest. She'll actually be on. We're starting a Sunday show this Sunday now that football season's over, and she'll actually be our guest host on that. So she'll be on the whole episode with me, and Miriam will actually be there.
That's
so
be
love Tina Marie.
Can't wait to see that. Yes, Tina Marie does an excellent job. If you don't know her, check out her channel. She does an excellent job herself. Let's talk for a quick second here about. We'll come back to the main network in just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Talk for a second. You got a couple other ventures. You got the FP Extra. I believe you got a sports. Just highlight those if you could, real quick, with what you're doing over there.
Yeah, with Extra, it's that's where more of the pre-recorded podcasts are going to go. Right now, we have Casey's Corner, not the same Casey Corner as you're affiliated with, but Casey Potts. She's out on the West Coast. She does a lot of healthy living, healthy eating kind of stuff. She does a lot of that, and so her show is on Tuesdays at 4:00.
And that primarily everything not Disney, correct?
Yeah, I mean it's this Disney stuff on there. Don't get me wrong. In fact, most of it is still Disney, but it's more pre-recorded. As we do some non-Disney stuff, that's probably where other things will go. Like we do want to add fitness stuff. We do want to add like a lot of positive lifestyle living kind of stuff, and I think that's probably where we'll put that stuff too. But yeah, so like we have Cast Conversations, which is another Disney podcast, actually. And I'll credit them with being the first podcast that welcomed me into the podcast community. Okay. When I had announced on Instagram that I was doing a podcast, they actually reached out and said, "Hey, if you need any information or if you have any questions, let us know. We've been doing it for a while." 2 former cast members that had their own podcast, and so they'll be coming to the network too. And Vamos to Talk Disney, who are 2 of the funniest ladies I've met. They have a great show. They had their first episode last week. And I believe they'll be bi-weekly on there as well. And then we have Mouse Moms, who are another show with 3 funny women that are really just, I've known them since the podcast world, and we're bringing them over to YouTube as well, and they're very funny as well. So I'm having a good time, helping bring another people that are where I was a year ago as just a podcaster to now bringing it and working it on YouTube. So
awesome. Welcome in, Gallivanti Gonzalez. Appreciate it. A lot of coming in tonight. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe tonight. That's awesome. And of course, you'll be having some children's content over there as well, eventually, I believe.
Yes.
Working on that as well.
Yep. They're looking at doing some Saturday morning, almost like, remember the Saturday morning lineup cartoons for when we were kids? They don't really do it anymore. We want to do something like that where it's going to be
your function. I remember that.
Yep. We're going to do a lot of for kids by kids kind of things. So my dog might bark a little bit because people just got home, but Dave and Jen's daughter Bella will be part of it. I have a niece that looks like she'll be part of it as well. Zach Sedelis, who, if anybody doesn't know who Zach Sedelis is, was one of our guests on An Evening with the Magical Lifestyle. Mm-hmm. He also from Walking Dead, and he's also in the Indiana Jones stunt show. His daughter will be bringing some content to the network. And we've even talked to Kellen. Everybody loves that adorable kid. So he might even be doing some work on the network as well. So we're still trying to fine tune how we want to go about doing that, because we also want to make sure it's very safe for the children.
Right.
So we're kind of in that process of working that out now, but that should be coming hopefully very soon.
Awesome. I love it. And again, if you're interested in joining Gene over there, if you would like to do a show of some sort on the network, you can reach out to Dave at FPE Network, and he'll be glad to talk to you about the parameters of that and how that goes as they continue to build over there. Welcome in Anthony the Molar Man as well. Cricket's got a quick question. She says, if you could run one park for 24 hours, what off-the-wall stuff would you do?
Ooh. If I wanted it just to have all to myself, it would be Epcot, and I would just hang out and spend hours in each of the World Showcase. If it was my ability to run the park and do whatever I want for the day, I would probably open Magic Kingdom and make it no fee for the day. Everybody's welcome.
I love it.
Come on in for free.
That's a good thing. Hey, you gotta do that. Let's jump back over, talk about the core network for you, because I know it's important. I'm jumped to the wrong screen there myself. Pardon me. Sorry about that. Let's go to the weekly schedule over here. Back. Let's pick up Thursdays. You got a Star Wars show over there, Galactic Council. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, Galactic Council. That's Dave and the boys. It's Dave, crew, DC, and Larry from Our Castle Life, and they talk Star Wars. Man, they've been covering the first. So far, all the episodes was covering the Book of Boba Fett. But now that that's over, they're going to start going into just other Star Wars content. So I'm excited to see where it goes now. But they do a great job, man. I love that show. It's on before us. It's on at 7 p.m. before the Disney Underground at 9. So they do a great job. They're a great lead-in for us on Thursday nights.
Nice. And then Thursday nights, you got the Disney Underground, which is your core podcast that you brought over to the network.
Yeah, actually, it's not really, everyone always forgets that it's not really the podcast anymore, because the podcast was so different. It's kind of like that was where the podcast was going to go. And as you switch venues from audio to the video world, you realize certain things don't work, certain things work, certain things don't. So we kind of had to find our way. So we kept the name just because we love the name, and we switched it to where it's me and Maddie B as my co-host.
She's awesome,
and she is such a delight. She really is. She's cool. She's funny. I like to tease her a lot. I treat her like a little sister, and but she's great. And what it is, that's kind of our community show where we invite pretty much everybody on there. We usually will always have a guest host that will spend the whole day with us, or the whole show with us, and then we'll every 15 minutes. So we have a new host that comes in for a new guest that comes in for 15 minutes, and we just talk about what they got going on. We'll talk some Disney current events, but it's really more or less than anything else a chance for us to introduce our subscribers and our people that watch our shows to other networks and other Instagrammers, other TikTokers, other YouTubers. That's our chance to basically introduce them to our audience. And
I know Anthony comments there about Maddie. I love the fact, first off, Maddie is just adorable to me in her personality. That's what I love about her. Her personality is fantastic. Besides the fact she keeps you in check, but I love that factor. But I do love the fact that the FPE Network is working diligently to highlight and bring to the forefront more of our female creators in the community. You've got Maddie over there. You got Tina coming on Monday. You also have over with We Like Theme Parks. You have drawing a blank on her name right now. Remind me, Gene. We Like Theme Parks. Who's a young lady over there?
Miriam.
Miriam, yes, beautiful name. She does a great job. You have OCL, Our Castle Life's Andrew over there. So you're working hard and bringing a lot of the other creators in, which I think is great. And they got so much talent. That's awesome. And then you got your Friday show, your new one you just started, right? Tell us about that.
Yep. It's Clash of the Magic. It's a little bit of a Disney debate and a little bit of Disney trivia. That features both Joey D and Sammy D from JSA Creations, who make the most amazing ears on the planet. Like, they really make the best 3D printed ears I've ever seen. But yeah, they're on there. Crew It Up is on there. Andrea from Our Castle Life is there. And Mike from Aspirations is there.
Nice.
And we have a lot of fun. I'm the judge on there too, and I get to stump them. And the chat is very interactive on that show because every round, the bottom 3 scorers get to go into we call it the elimination chamber. And what happens is we give the chat a chance to save one of the 3 to move them on to the next round. And then the remaining 2 go into the elimination chamber and they do battle in another game. And the loser is off for the day and the winner goes to the next round. And we do that until we get to the end. And there's one left. And as a matter of fact, you'll be on this Friday. So we're welcoming you.
I will be making you an offer you can't refuse if I don't make it to the end.
Well, I'm sure you're always gonna. I'm pretty sure the chat's gonna save you every single time if you're in the bottom 3. So I would be worried if I was you.
Hey Gene, I'm not laughing. Anyway, look, got this for a second. The Core Network, you're going to find a lot over there, guys. There's a lot of great content and more to come as they expand. But you guys are looking at doing a sports network as well. I know we do some sports tie-in over here with what we do. We've found a lot of great people that love Disney that didn't know about our Disney community here that we're finding and bringing over. Talk a little bit about what your thoughts are with this sports part of FPE that you're looking to do.
Yeah, I mean, really, sports have always been just a huge passion, as I'm sure you can relate. It's been a huge passion of mine. And I think doing what we've done on YouTube so far, it's James is correct. But we're doing it's kind of allowed us to be able to say, hey, you know what? Let's try our hand at sports. We love sports. And my wife goes, she said, why do you want to put more on your plate? Like, why do you want? And I said, because I love sports. And she said, well, why do you want to do it? And I was like, because now I can. Like, I know what I'm doing now. Now, to an extent, I know what I'm doing. But I feel like this is finally where I can do it. What's up, Joey D? I finally feel like I can do it.
His arms will be here in a few minutes, but he's here now. So, what are you looking to do over there? What type of sport content? I know you guys have an initial game plan. Obviously, this is still in the works and a fluid project, but what do you guys think about for people that might be finding this?
We'll be covering pretty much everything. We won't be doing like football games necessarily, or baseball games, or hockey games. I know that is your market, and I know we couldn't even do it nearly half as good as you. So I will leave those ventures to you. But we probably will be doing some basketball games. We'll be doing. I think we'll do like a basketball game once a week. Nice. Like a game of the week kind of thing. If we can get it started before the season ends. We will also be trying our hand at MMA and boxing. Maybe cover some events for that. And then we'll have like the weekly shows where we just talk about different sports. We might even talk about doing a little pro wrestling. Scotty Tuhati, former WWE superstar, is a friend of the networks as well. So, he's someone that may be on from time to time if we decide to go the pro wrestling route. Nice. But there's really anything that we could talk about. I mean, when it comes to sports, I literally watch any and every sport. So like, I feel like I could talk about any of them, from golf all the way to football. So it's going to be a chance to really give me an outlet to be able to get my other passion out. And I know Dave's very passionate about sports, and
you'll be coming on with us on our
Thursday
show. Gene will have a key role in our Thursday night football show starting next Thursday. All I can say is it'll be the FitzMagic Audible, and you'll have to tune in to find out about that a little bit more. But he'll be a key part of the show as we go into the 2022 broadcasting year. Jersey Mike says Rangers or Islanders, real quick, throwing that at you.
No, Rangers, obviously.
There you go. So here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to give Gene a chance to get a quick beverage, get a breath for a second. I want to highlight our community segment for this week, and then we'll come back with Gene to close out. I'd like to kind of talk to you about where you see as a long-term goal with the FPE Network, thoughts with Walt, and we'll kind of close things out. So if you want some more from Gene, you got to stay to the end. And I ask you, if you have a question for Gene, when I get ready to come back with him, highlight at Pete McDevitt Show. I'll be glad to throw those questions at Gene real quick and get some answers for it. And again, if you're brand new, hit that subscribe tonight, following us if you like these interviews 3 days a week and a Friday night Disney hangout and 4K Disney content coming out courtesy of our executive producer, Casey Bryant, 5 days a week. We broadcast something Disney 6 days a week on our channel. Gene is over on his Instagram. He's absolutely killed it. 47,000. That's a stadium full of people. You get that? A stadium full of people following one person. And then, of course, the FPE Network, where he's a featured artist. Welcome to the woods. Welcome in, Nick, coming in from across the pond. All right, let's drop down here and get in. I just got to slide down here. We're going to go first to our segment, our community segment, where we acknowledge all the pictures and all that come in. It's Magical Memories, People in the Plot, brought to you by Magically Mad Adventures. If my moderators could drop her link in, she's a great creator, also does some travel agent stuff. This is a segment, if you're brand new to me, where we highlight pictures of people in the parks that get out there. So there's our good friend Gonzo and the Disney Baker hanging out down there in front of Spaceship Earth. I loved it when I got that picture late last week, so I left it in. The Main Street Mouse, there's Michelle hanging out down there. She was celebrating a birthday down in the parks. Love Michelle and everything she does with the MainStreetMouse.com. Jojo, he didn't have a Valentine this year that he wanted to specifically go to, so he went to the park and was handing out roses to cast members. Jojo's an amazing young man. Love that kid to death. I met him a long time ago when he was just doing custodial work as a young kid. Really grown up, done well. The beautiful Tanya, she's that crazy Disney lady. She's got a map of the park. Everybody is going crazy over these sweatshirts and hats, just nuts. And Tanya got this one. Love it. That's a great picture of her down in the parks there. So our good friends here with the ears, they were out on a recent cruise. Some nice pictures of them here with the ears. Love them. Love everything they do on their channel. Years of Ears, two different couples, two different channels. This is Years of Ears, another top Instagrammer that's doing exceptionally well over here on YouTube. Proud of them. There's Jackie. She's super enthused. She's got her Figment bucket. She's happy. Great picture. Love that. Jackie's a good friend of the channel, and I appreciate it. This is our good friends, One Little Spark JL. They're having their own little Mickey picnic down there on the grass for Valentine's Day. Love that picture. My good man Bryson, for the love of the mouse. He's got donuts, and he got caught by his wife, and this is the picture. You got to love it when a man gets caught with his donuts. That's something, right, in itself. And then finish up Piano Rob. Down there, he's either putting together a Figment, or that is a picture of Gene early in the morning after a late broadcast. I'm not sure which one, but it doesn't have a beard, so it might be Figment. I'm not sure, though, but great pictures in the park this week. Magical Mail is brought to you every week by our incredible...
Well, hello, fellow Disney freaks. This is Disney Connections, and I'm Rob.
And I'm Melanie.
And we are here to invite you to come by our channel over at Disney Connections on YouTube,
where we do unboxings, box swaps, lives from the park, and sometimes we have guest speakers.
We also want to invite you to come over to www.mainstreettreat.com to pick up your favorite Disney treats.
Right from the park, shipped to you. Hope to see you soon.
So this is really cool. This was our mail this week that I got. Aaron Goldberg, who was featured over on FPE, is going to come on and do an interview with me a couple weeks down the road on a Tuesday night event. He sent me a signed copy. I have it right here of Buying Disney's World. I loved it, so I want to thank Aaron publicly. But I should also highlight, as a major announcement, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., there will be a video debuting on this channel on Disney Connections, who is the Main Street Treat Company, on Central Florida Novelty and Gifts, on Dad Builds, and on the FPE Network. We have jointly come together for a major giveaway. Listen to this. If you're not excited, you're going to get excited. We are giving away together a one-of-a-kind collectible pin, a lounge fly bag. It's the Peter Pan lounge fly bag, the brand new one that is red hot everywhere. We're giving away a Figment bucket. We're giving away a Disney gift card. And we are giving away a mail out from the Main Street Treat Company. Central Florida Novelty and Gifts is putting up the Loungefly. Main Street Treat Company is putting out the mail out. I'm putting up the gift card. Florida Park Explorers putting up the Figment bucket. Gene putting up the collectible pin. All you'll have to do is go around and check out a couple videos. It's simple. It's free. It's the value of it. I don't know, $200, $300, $400, depending on how much you're willing to pay for Figment. The Loungefly bag is beautiful, gorgeous. So look, you got to watch the videos to find out. So 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, Make sure you're ready. We're going to debut those videos, and that's going to be something. And I want to thank our partners with the Main Street Tree Company for being part of that. Who knows? You might get some of these goodies mailed to your house. It's an incredible giveaway tomorrow at 9 a.m. Congratulations each week is brought to you by Casey's Corner of the World, where he does so much and brings so much love and magic. He is our executive producer of 4K content. He likes to recognize people with me. We want to recognize 3,000 subscribers. Swish, Willie, and Disney. Congratulations for getting 3,000. If you hit channel goals and you're not letting me know, shame on you. We could be highlighting your channel during the week right here. Want to congratulate 6,000. The magic in the music. The magic in the music. It's all Disney music over there. It's pretty incredible. 6,000 followers over there.
Proud of myself. I called my mom. She was proud of me.
Jeff called his mom. 7,000 people are following him. He was very proud. His mother was proud. Congratulations, it's our dream. And then Disney Daily. Disney Daily, 8,000 subscribers over there. Each week we do the Race for 100K. That's the Race for 100K. It's brought to you by our good.
Hello, everyone. It's Chris with Disney Dynamics. We bring you tons of Disney content with a little bit of humor. My mom thinks I'm funny anyways. 4K unboxings of Disney merch and promo codes to save you money. We bring you live to Disney parks, and then after the sun goes down, we head to Disney After Dark, where we mix Disney-inspired drinks and have slightly inappropriate conversations with our Disney friends. If that sounds good to you, you're just the right amount of weird to fit right in. That's Disney Dynamics, spelt with a K for some reason.
So the race, in order to get into it, you got to be dynamic. If you're new to YouTube and you're looking for Disney people to follow, well, I'm about to share with you some incredible ones. Let's get on this race. First three, top three in the race right now, close to 100,000. Big Fat Panda, only 500 away. Super Enthused and Best Life and Beyond, they're not far from hitting that 100K and getting that button. Next in the race, FitzMagic down to Earsome Emporium. Not much change this week. They all picked up some subscribers, but not much movement on this end of the race here. Streaming with the Magic leads us off down to LBV. We want to highlight Steve and Kai for jumping up and passing people. That's why they got fireworks above them. And also LBV jumped up and passed people this week, getting new subscribers. Of course, Miss Cherry's channel, one of the newest channels to this race. Down in this level of the thing, you got WW Radio down to This Life of Ours, highlighting the Leffersons this week. They grew some subscribers and grew up, but you see everybody in there in double digits, solid double digits, and growing their channels. 11.2 down to 8.6. Mouse Talk down to Chasing Dreams with Mike. Not much movement in the people. They all picked up subscribers this week. Paul's Theme Park is just a hair away from 10K. Drew is not far. Vincent Vision, all those people right almost in double digits. Disney Daily hitting our 8,000 down to Adults in Disney, hitting their 6 recently. Living in Diz gets the highlight, passing over some people, jumping up. It was 7.36. They've got the fireworks there. All solid channels in there, whether they go from the park or from home. And again, we're not asking anybody to subscribe to these channels. We are asking you to go check out these channels. And if you like their content and you're going to watch them, hit the subscribe then. We're just trying to bring them to the forefront so you can find quality channels quicker. This sheet has a bunch of jumping around. One Little Spark jumped over people. They got fireworks. Mouse Vibes out of California as well jumped over people. They've got fireworks there as well. Just a lot of movement up and down through this leg of the race. Nice job there, everybody. And finishing out the final leg of the race, Steve's World still's got some fireworks passed over Dole Whip Dad to go up there. There's your last leg of the race. We will be adding new people in as they go along. You got to have at least 3,000 to be considered. If you want to be considered, send me a direct message. We'll be glad to talk to you about that. Real quick, before I bring my guest back and we finish out today's show, I want to highlight 2 quick things. One, next Wednesday on the show, it'll be Bloomin' Cheesa. Bloomin' Cheesa will be my guest, sitting down with me and talking. Coming up on Sunday, Swish, Willie, and Disney comes to the Sunday show. Swish, Willie, and Disney coming to the Sunday show. Can't wait to sit down with Lindsay. I highlight these creators on the day that they're on. These are some of the people that helped me get me through some of my toughest times. So I highlight them and say thank you. You can check out their channels. Generally, they broadcast on the days that I'm showing. They may broadcast more than that, but we tend to highlight them so that you can find them. Of course, these people, the bigger players, they broadcast all the way through the week. I want to congratulate the recent inductees to the Marvel segment that was inducted in. here. This is your Muppet, your Pixar, your Star Wars, and your Marvel. If you don't know what we're talking about, we have a Disney YouTube recognition series where we induct people into a virtual Hall of Fame. It's a virtual Hall of Fame voted upon by 20 channels for the initial inductions, and since then, every member has got to vote in the new class. If you don't know what we're talking about, go to the playlist on my channel. They're called Disney YouTube Recognition Series. You can watch all the shows and all the inductions. People get collectible buttons. It's a whole process of recognition and honoring people, and more of that is coming up as we're doing the Marvel Villains segment. We are going to honor the villains of Disney, the creativity, all that goes behind the villains, coming up here in the spring. All the voting forms are out. They're in people's hands right now, and they are in the process of voting in the new class. My guest tonight, again, is the man behind the face of being magical on the FPE Network. This is Gene FitzMagic. That's the days that they're live over there. And I appreciate you coming in tonight and sitting and talk with us. It's been great to get to know you. Gene, let me ask you this. Your passion, for Disney that comes out, and your passion to help people. I know you're very passionate about charities, and you guys are going to do a lot with charity focus over there. Could you highlight that for a minute for me and just let people know about that?
I know Dave has a lot of stuff in the works with, he wants to, I'm going to hopefully be doing some events very soon with Give Kids the World. That's the charity that we've just fallen in love with. I know Dave did a lot of things for them previously. Piano Rob is, a lot of Piano Rob has, he's also part of the network. So pretty much everyone on our network has some type of association to Give Kids the World. So I know we want to do a lot of stuff there. We just actually raffled off a popcorn bucket where the proceeds are going to go towards Give Kids the World.
Nice.
So I think Give Kids the World is the one we really want to firmly work with the most. And then anybody that has any charity, let me just say this too, anybody that has something that they're doing charity wise, whether it's Give Kids the World or another charity, please reach out and we'll do whatever we can on our end. We'll mention whatever you need us to mention. So for anyone that's got something that they're doing on their channel or on their Instagram or on their TikTok for a charity, please include us. We want to be involved in anything we can do to help.
Love that.
I always feel like every single dollar counts. So if we can only bring in $5, hey, it's $5, but it's going to the right things. And so we want to be able to help as much as we can with whatever we can.
Gene, I got 3 last things for you. One, let me ask you this. Where do you see this channel and the visibility? Where is your 3 to 5 year plan with where you guys want to be?
Ooh, I just hope that we grow and we are able to bring more people to the network. Not subscribers. I mean, more people on the network, more people to be able to showcase themselves. I would love to see this go from where we have the one channel to having 10 channels with 3 or 4 shows a day on each of those channels, with us highlighting everybody. Like, we were talking recently about doing another night, and I'm like, well, I can't. There's only one of me, so we got to start putting other people on. So you're going to see there's going to be some more shows on the main network too that will be featuring other people other than myself in the primetime slots as well. Obviously, Tuesdays we like theme parks, but
too, right there is what it does with your answer there about other content all coming in. So that's a good thing. My second question for you, which is one that I kind of always throw out there, is if you had a chance to spend 5-10 minutes with Walt, what would you want to do? What would be on, hey, I'd like to do this with Walt if I could have him available by some miraculous miracle?
I would love to walk with him in Magic Kingdom, because it was a place that he's never gotten. It's all his brain, but he's never actually gotten to partake in it. I'd love to be able to have walk with him for the one and only time that he could actually walk through physically Magic Kingdom, and just see how much in awe he would be. If he would be impressed, maybe he would have did it differently.
Right.
But I would love if I had one day to hang out with Walt Disney, it would be to hang out at the Magic Kingdom, a park that he was unfortunately not around to have seen its completion.
Right.
And I would just love to pick his brain, man, and just ask him about some of the stuff that, I mean, if all the stuff that we've seen and we know of, could you imagine how many things he just didn't get to do that he already had somewhere in a notebook, probably, or just in his brain?
Be nice to have that notebook somewhere. Be tremendous.
Oh, So that would probably be my thing, is hang out with him in Magic Kingdom and just ask him questions about what haven't we seen yet that you were planning.
Gene, let me ask you.
Yes.
What's your next goal?
In YouTube or in general?
Subscriber-wise?
Subscriber-wise? Oh, the next one.
Absolutely.
I say it to Dave all the time. When everybody always, people always do that. They go, "Oh, you just hit this. What, is it next one? Like, we just hit 2,000. Is it 3,000? No, when we hit 2,000, I said, nope, it's 2001 because you can't get to those other numbers if you don't hit one by one by one."
Well, I've heard you say how everyone is, and
exactly that is it. Like every single person that comes to there is giving you their time and their attention, and it's super. It's they always say time is more valuable than money, and the fact that people actually come over, subscribe, give us their time to be able to say, we like what you're doing enough to want to subscribe means the world to us. So we've always said it's always the next one. That's the next goal is the next one.
I love that. As I want to throw it over to you for a final thought of the night from your side of the pond. First, I'd like to throw out there a show idea. I have a double show back to back. It's 1 hour of power, Malik for an hour, Joey's arms for an hour. You just look at the cat, he does his thing, and the whole hour with Joey is just him doing this with his arms. I'd like to.
Well, I actually want to. I want to one up that. I want to actually set up a pay-per-view. Me and Joey doing an arm wrestling contest because he's got a recent injury that I think I could take him now.
There you go. Let's first. Let me throw it over to you for a final thought of the night from your side of the Magic Kingdom.
You know what? Hold on, Dave's.
Your final thought first.
Tell Dave
he can
Dave,
wait.
You're gonna have to wait, Dave.
Give me your
my final thought is my final thought would be how I always end every show is have a great today, have a great tomorrow, and I'll see you next time. It's always just enjoy each day, man.
I love that.
Enjoy each day.
From my side of the park, first, I want to thank you for coming on tonight and sharing me your time. I want to remind everybody that tonight at 9 o'clock, Gene will be live doing his Wednesday night show. The title of that again is? Gene?
Around the Magic.
Around the Magic. I knew that. I wanted them to hear it from you. Around the Magic at 9 o'clock over the FPE Network. I encourage you, if you haven't found them at all, at least do me a favor. Go over there and check them out. Give them a look-see. See if it meets your viewing palette, and then hopefully you'll stay there like many others have done. Secondly, I want to remind everybody before I say my goodbye, we have a major giveaway tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Central Florida Novelty and Gifts, the Main Street Treat Company, Florida Park Explorers / FPE Network, Gene FitzMagic, Dad Builds, and myself giving away a collectible pin, a Loungefly bag, a Figment popcorn button. It's a cool Loungefly bag too. It's the Peter Pan one. It's hot off the press and people want it. A Figment bucket, a gift card. It's a whole package. There's a simple process for doing it. To enter, it costs nothing but a few minutes of your time, and just clicking a couple buttons and doing some stuff. It'll tell you everything you have to do right in the video. Share that video out. Let people know. We're hoping you will. We'd really appreciate that. It would mean a lot. Just a reminder, tonight is Wednesday night. I will be back Friday night with our Friday night hangout. I'd love everybody to come back over, sit. We talk news. We talk merchandise. I never know what creator is going to show up on Friday night. I don't book anybody. I just leave it an open door for anybody who's ever been on the channel. And it's kind of like Walt's porch, Gene, and Marceline. It's just for people to stop by, neighbors to stop by, chat a little bit, hang out. I know you've been there many times. I hope you'll come back over and hang out with us over there, from time to time. Anybody else on Friday nights as well. And I'll finish up by saying 2 challenges. One, I tell everybody, tube it up. When you're watching YouTube tonight, if you're brand new to it, you can help a creator that you like by doing the real simple thing. One, going over, watching their content. That's key. Secondly, while you're there, leave a like. If you don't like it, leave a dislike. If you don't, we prefer you to leave a like, but leave a like if you would. Share it out. Let more people know about it. The more people that know about a video, the more that have the chance to watch it, the more your creator that you like has a chance to grow. If you really like that person you're following, hit that stupid button and subscribe. It's the dumbest thing out there, but 70% of the people watching YouTube have not subscribed. They just keep going back. Subscribe. If you do, maybe your creator wakes up in the morning, finds 2 more numbers up there and feels pretty empowered and does another video. That's a good thing. Those would be the big things to do. And of course, if you want to support your creator, you can become a member and those natures as well. And finally, my challenge for this year, for this whole 2022, I'm challenging the Disney YouTube community. If you like Disney and you're here watching shows for anybody, you're part of the Disney community. What's up, OCL? Welcome in. My challenge to you is simple. 10 minutes of your time. If you go into a channel to watch their content, give them 10 minutes of your time. I guarantee you, this community, all of us, will grow and pick up more vision here on YouTube if there's more content watched. If you just stop in and give somebody a like and leave, you actually hurt that creator's watch time. You drag it down, okay? Watch time is a key thing for YouTube. Don't just go in, leave a like and leave. It kills it. Go in, give them 10 minutes of your time, help their average watch hours. I would love that. It's very important in the big picture of trying to get to where everybody is trying to get to. So we've had a great night tonight. Again, I want to remind everybody that you can go over with Gene right after this on his channel. The Florida Park Explorers, Dave will be there producing. FPE Network. Drop the link one more time, moderators. Gene, it's been a great night hanging out with you. I've really enjoyed everything, and I had a lot of fun with you.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Dave, it literally is blowing my phone up. Can I just take it real quick?
What? I'm in the middle of a show. Go.
That's what I said to him. Yes, Dave. No. What about Timon?
Oh,
Timon?
Oh.
Hello there, this is Timon. We hope you enjoyed the show. It was great having you with us. You were a lovely group, the best audience ever. Now please, get out!
Thanks, Musketeers, for joining the party. We'll be looking for you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, all.